Welcome back to the Grand Canyons. Today we're going to give you our best advice on how to deal with a breakup.
Our mission is to build relationships one couple at a time so you can live, laugh, and love.
Do that by clicking the subscribe button and the notification.
This video is sponsored by Red Family Dentistry, where we want to see you smiling.
Breaking up is hard to do.
It is.
That is it's like almost, depending on the length of the relationship and how you care about somebody, it's almost like a death.
It is like a death. And the thing about it is, it really doesn't matter sometimes how long you've been in the relationship. It matters how connected you are, how deep your heart is into it. You know, because sometimes you can be in a relationship 2 months or 2 years and you still feel the same thing. I had to survive a breakup, and we tell this story. And one thing about the Grand Canyons, we are transparent.
We are transparent.
I was in love. I thought I was in love with someone.
You were in love. That was love.
I can say I was probably in love.
Yeah.
And at the time when we broke up, I thought I would never love somebody again until I met you. But I went through a process, and I want to show people how to deal with it when you actually break up. And we've helped a lot of people, coaching them and how to deal with the breakup. First thing you got to understand, a breakup is kind of like grieving. It's a loss. You've lost something, and you go through a process, a grieving process. The brain goes through a process, because what happens is now the brain has to adjust, because all of the things you thought were going to happen, we're going to get married, we're going to be together. The brain has created pictures of those things, and now it's got to change the pictures. And the brain doesn't want to do that because it's created those pictures. Have you ever thought about something that you wanted to do? You thought about, you like, I want to do this, I want to do that. And all of a sudden the picture had to change.
So what you're saying is, in my mind, you know, I've been programming myself to be in this relationship, to go the distance, to go the 9 yards. And then when the breakup happens, I got to switch it up here.
Right.
Because okay, I get that. The picture has to change.
But the picture has to change. But what happens when you have a picture in your brain, this is what happens. There's always emotion attached to the picture. So let me give you the cycle. I call it the cycle of emotions that you go through when you break up with someone. And people have to understand, you have to accept this and go through the process. Don't try to speed it up because you feel a certain way. You have to acknowledge that you feel this. The first phase is denial. When you break up with somebody, no, they didn't break up with me.
So you show up at their job for lunch like you do every other Thursday, because we going out because we are not quit. Like, so you're in denial, right? Okay.
Actually, denial. Okay. Then there's the shock phase.
I know he didn't quit me.
And so when you go through the shock phase, then you go through, once you start to realize it starts to set in, then you go through anger. Okay, you're mad at it. Then the fourth phase is bargaining. You start bargaining with the person. Okay, if we get back together, I promise I ain't gonna ever be late again.
Oh, wow.
If we get back together, I promise I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. You start bargaining because your brain is trying to figure out, how can I get the picture back? The picture has changed. And the last part of it is acceptance. When your brain finally accepts that here's my reality, then you're ready to go through these steps of actually healing.
Is there a time on that?
I was just about to say that.
That's what I want. Like, should I spend like 2 weeks in shock or 3 weeks in denial?
That is good. There is no timetable.
Okay.
Okay. If somebody were to die, would you give them a timetable to grieve?
No.
You wouldn't give them a timetable to grieve. So what I always tell all of the people that I coach, I said, you're probably going to be in it longer than you want to. Okay, because the quicker you accept these emotional phases, the better off you're going to be. And then what we've done, baby, is I went through 4 distinct phases to help people to understand, how can I expedite the process and get up and get out of it. So the first phase is what I call the acceptance phase. Okay. And that's not accepting, that's not part of the cycle of emotions. Okay. I'm talking about number 1, accepting who you are and where you are. in the
Okay,
relationship.
okay.
Accept that this has happened to you. I am the person that I am. Because what happens to people is they don't accept who they are. Okay, it's all on the other person. It's all of this. They don't accept where they are. This didn't happen. And I'm saying the first part of the healing is accepting it. Okay, it's just like the person who goes and says, I'm not going to be with my partner anymore. They just died. And accepting that process is going to help them.
I remember you used to break up with me about every third Friday. You remember that? As soon as I got to the point where I was accepted, you would call me and say, let's go to the doggone Waffle House or something.
But that was
So
how
do you, when you get in your acceptance, how do you, like if the person steps back in, how do you stop the emotions from flowing? Because we used to break up a lot. Let's be real. You and I used to break up every 3, 4,
Wasn't
8
really
months.
a breakup.
Wasn't really a breakup. We would call it a breakup. Our friends didn't.
I probably just needed a little time, a little way to do some more
so you wouldn't
stuff.
have to repent. But my thing is when you get to that acceptance place and the person comes back around, how do you guard yourself?
Okay, we're going to get to that in phrase 3.
Okay.
That's an excellent question there. See, I can't get them past you. I try, but I can't.
Okay.
But I'm going to get to it to 3. But number 2, though, is acknowledgement. Number 1, and here's what I mean by acknowledgement. At no relationship, everybody's 100% good. No relationship, there's something that I can always improve upon.
Okay.
What people have to acknowledge is their part in it.
So you gotta own your stuff.
Own your own ish.
Yeah.
You gotta
own your own. Yeah.
And so until you decide to number 1, acknowledge where I am, acknowledge my part in it, acknowledge how I can improve, then it's not going to matter because you're going to take the very same stuff into the next relationship.
How you get somebody to acknowledge who they are without them feeling attacked, though? How do you get them? Because sometimes people don't see they're wrong or what they put into it. So in a relationship, how do you get someone to acknowledge that without feeling like you're beating them up?
What I get them to do is to do 3 things. Number 1, self-reflection. Self-reflection is, what could I have done better? What could I have done different? And I sit down and write self-reflection on the top of the page.
Okay.
And I reflect on what could I have done better? What did I do to cause this breakup? And I'm not saying you were the sole cause.
Yeah, but you gotta take
improve.
ownership, right?
The second thing is self-awareness.
Okay.
Self-awareness is, how do I act in adversity?
Okay.
What did I do?
Okay.
What was mine? I understand the other person because we're so quick to blame everybody else. Blame them. That person was the cause, and always negating what we did. And the last thing is self-concept. Changing my self-image, my self-concept. What is it about me that causes me to do what I do? So when we do that, now I can be better for the next relationship.
Okay, number 3.
Number 3 is cut off the oxygen.
Cut it off.
Cut off the oxygen. And what do I mean by cut off the oxygen?
Unplug it.
If the person keeps coming back.
Flip it down. Okay, I'm sorry.
You remember you asked me if the person keeps coming back? You have to cut off the oxygen. Things live because you give it oxygen, right? Here's what the oxygen is. When I'm looking at the text, I'm texting you, how you doing? I'm calling you just to keep that line, that little oxygen open. Keep the thing open. I'm looking at your Facebook page and I'm trying to figure out, who you taking pictures with?
That's right.
That's all you doing.
I just said that a friend of mine just broke up with this guy, and I ran into her and she was showing me. She's like, I've been Facebook stalking. And she showed me the girl, and she was like, she's not even cute. So we do that.
Ugly.
Yeah, that's what she said. I mean, I didn't say it. I'm just repeating it. But what I'm saying is we do that. I don't know if men do the stalking. I can only speak for a woman. But we will stalk an ex, honey, on Facebook, on social media.
But as long as you keep the oxygen in that, what happens is you can't heal. And the healing process, what happens when you get a scab? You have to pull the Band-Aid off so it can get oxygen. But what happens is now, on the flip side, we needed to die. Cut off the oxygen. Does that make sense?
Okay, yeah.
And the last thing is...
pull the plug. Okay, I'm sorry.
Focus on yourself.
That is so good.
Affirm thyself. And what I tell people is simply this. If you ever want to get over somebody, it's not getting up under somebody else.
That's what I was about to say.
It's not. Okay, too much emotional connection.
Yeah.
But what you have to do is begin focusing on the things that you want to do, the things that make you happy. If that's going back to school, if that's taking another class, if that's doing something for you, flipping houses. I'm gonna start a business. I'm gonna do something based on me.
It could be something, a little more simple though. It could be, getting your nails done. We women, we have retail therapy. Get into yourself. Go get a facial, go get a manicure, or just, spend time with yourself, by yourself, doing yourself.
I like that.
Yeah.
By yourself, doing yourself. Doing yourself. Anyway, the last thing, I want to say this. The reason why focus on yourself is so important is because of this. Is so many people define themselves by what others believe about them. And until you begin defining yourself about what you believe about yourself, you can't grow through it. Now that we've shown you how to deal with the breakup, next we're going to show you, when do you break up?
Click this video and I'll see you there.